The content and concepts presented within the book, The Messiah and the Secret of Israel, encompassing the profound exploration of the hidden significance of the tribe of Benjamin and its connection to the Messiah, are the exclusive intellectual property of L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology LLC. This work represents a unique synthesis of historical analysis, astrological interpretation, and theological insight, all meticulously developed and authored by L.S. Larkey. Any reproduction, distribution, or use of these materials without explicit permission from L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology LLC is strictly prohibited. This proprietary knowledge reflects a significant contribution to the fields of biblical studies, astrology, and spiritual heritage, and it is protected under applicable intellectual property laws. Magic, in its truest form, is the art of influencing the fabric of reality through the power of consciousness. It transcends mere illusion or trickery. It is an ancient and profound understanding of how thought can shape the world. In the days of Moses, Aaron, and Elijah, magic was not a spectacle but a divine practice rooted in the deep connection between human consciousness and the cosmos. This principle is fundamentally rooted in the book of Genesis, where God created the universe using consciousness. Humans are endowed with the same type of consciousness, allowing them to create reality. Chapter 12, Part 1, The Miraculous Instruments, The Messiah and the Secret of Israel. The enigmatic power of the staff and other divine instruments. Throughout biblical history, certain objects have transcended their physical form to become symbols of divine authority, guidance, and miraculous power. From Moses parting the Red Sea with his staff to Elijah's mantle, Hezekiah's miraculous sundial, and other awe-inspiring events, these objects represent a divine conduit of power and favor. This chapter delves into the profound significance of the staff, the mantle, and the sundial, illuminating how they reflect the divine orchestration of the tribes of Israel. Moses' miraculous staff. 1. The call of Moses. Imagine Moses, a humble shepherd standing before a burning bush that radiates an otherworldly glow. God's voice commands him to throw his staff to the ground, and as it hits the earth, it transforms into a serpent, slithering with divine energy. Biblical reference. Exodus chapter 4, verses 2 to 4. Then the Lord said to him, "What is that in your hand?" "A staff," he replied. The Lord said, "Throw it on the ground." Moses threw it on the ground and it became a snake, and he ran from it. Reflection. In this transformative moment, Moses' staff becomes a conscious amplifier, projecting divine will into reality. It prefigures the power of thought and divine command to shape the world. 2. Miracles and deliverance. Moses uses his staff to perform awe-inspiring miracles, turning the Nile into blood, parting the Red Sea, and bringing water from a rock. Each miracle demonstrates God's power working through Moses, manipulating the very elements of nature. Biblical references. Exodus chapter 7, verse 17. Exodus chapter 14, verse 16. Exodus chapter 17, verses 5 to 6. Reflection. These acts are not merely miracles but profound demonstrations of how divine energy can manipulate the elements, foreshadowing the cosmic principles that govern our universe. 1. Confrontation with Egyptian magicians. In Pharaoh's court, Aaron's staff transforms into a serpent and devours the magician's serpents, showcasing the undeniable superiority of divine power. Biblical reference. Exodus chapter 7, verses 10 to 12. Esoteric insight. The staff's power lay not just in its divine origin, but in the infusion of Moses' own consciousness. Through sacred rituals, human consciousness was projected onto the staff, making it a gateway to pure thought and imagination, the very essence of true magic. Consciousness and space-time. At the heart of this connection lies the concept of space-time. Modern physics tells us that space and time are interwoven, forming a continuum that can be influenced by mass and energy. Similarly, ancient wisdom reveals that consciousness itself can bend and shape space-time. When a wizard or prophet, such as Moses or Aaron, projects their consciousness onto an object like a staff. They are, in essence, embedding a part of their soul into the fabric of reality. This act transforms the staff into a vessel of divine power, capable of altering the natural order. However, our ability to use this consciousness to create reality is restricted due to our disharmony with the oneness of the cosmos. Although traditionally associated with the tribe of Levi, Aaron and Moses had a father from the tribe of Benjamin. During a rebellion against Moses and Aaron, God commands each tribal leader to place their staff in the tent of meeting. Aaron's rod miraculously buds, blossoms, and produces almonds, signifying his divine appointment. The rod, once lifeless, pulses with new life, a testament to divine choice. Numbers chapter 17, verse 8. The next day Moses entered the tent of the testimony and saw that Aaron's staff, which represented the house of Levi, had not only sprouted, but had budded, blossomed, and produced almonds. Aaron's rod, preserved in the Ark of the Covenant, stands as a symbol of God's chosen priesthood and his ongoing presence. Aaron's rod, like Moses's, was a vessel of human consciousness. Infused with Aaron's divine purpose and authority, it became a living symbol of God's choice, a tool through which divine will could be manifest. Though officially of the tribe of Levi, Aaron's true lineage from Benjamin ties him to the secret wizardry and divine power of that tribe. Gateway to imagination. The staffs and mantles of the biblical prophets were more than mere tools. They were gateways to the divine imagination. These objects, infused with human consciousness, acted as amplifiers for the prophets' thoughts and intentions. They allowed their wielders to access a higher state of being, where the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds blurred. In this heightened state, the impossible became possible, and miracles were a natural extension of their will. By using certain incantations, the wizard could create or manifest real magic according to their abilities. The power of pure thought. To grasp the full potential of this relationship, one must understand the power of pure thought. Pure thought is a focused and undiluted form of consciousness, free from the distractions and limitations of the physical world. It is the creative force that God used when he said, "Let there be light," and light emerged from the void. This same principle allows a prophet to perform miracles. By achieving a state of pure thought, they can project their will into the world, causing reality to shift and bend to their desires. Engendering their consciousness into a staff or object through sacred rituals allows the object to maintain the original consciousness energy from the human, enabling real magic to manifest. Elisha's miraculous staff, raising the dead. The prophet Elisha sends his servant Gehazi to place his staff on a dead child's face, which eventually leads to the child's revival. The staff, imbued with prophetic energy, becomes a conduit for life itself. Biblical reference 2 Kings, chapter 4, verses 29 to 35. Esoteric insight. Elisha's staff, imbued with his prophetic spirit, served as a conduit for life-giving energy. This staff, too, was more than a tool. It was an extension of Elisha's consciousness, channeling divine power to perform miracles. The hidden lineage of Benjamin's wizardry is reflected in the miraculous acts performed by Elisha, unveiling the secrets of space-time. By understanding the interplay between consciousness and space-time, we uncover the true essence of magic. It is the realization that our thoughts and intentions have the power to shape our reality. This ancient wisdom, hidden in the stories of the Bible, reveals a universe far more interconnected and responsive to our inner worlds than we might have ever imagined. As we delve deeper into these mysteries, we begin to see that the miracles of the past were not just acts of divine intervention, but expressions of a profound cosmic truth. Hezekiah's miraculous sundial. In addition to the miraculous staffs, another unique divine instrument is mentioned in the Bible, the sundial of Hezekiah. The sign of Hezekiah's sundial context of the miracle King Hezekiah was gravely ill. and the prophet Isaiah told him to set his house in order because he would not recover. Hezekiah prayed fervently to God, and God granted him an additional 15 years of life. As a sign of this promise, God performed a miracle with Hezekiah's sundial. Biblical reference: Isaiah chapter 38 verses 1 to 8 and 2 Kings chapter 20 verses 1 to 11. The miracle: Hezekiah asked for a sign to confirm God's promise of healing. Isaiah asked Hezekiah whether he wanted the shadow on the sundial to move forward 10 steps or backward 10 steps. Hezekiah chose the more difficult sign, asking for the shadow to move backward. Biblical reference: 2 Kings chapter 20 verses 8 to 10. Hezekiah had asked Isaiah, "What will be the sign that the Lord will heal me and that I will go up to the temple of the Lord on the 3rd day from now?" Isaiah answered, "This is the Lord's sign to you that the Lord will do what he has promised. Shall the shadow go forward 10 steps or shall it go back 10 steps?" "It is a simple matter for the shadow to go forward 10 steps, said Hezekiah. "Rather, have it go back 10 steps." The miracle performed. Isaiah called upon the Lord, and the Lord caused the shadow on the sundial to move backward 10 steps, a miraculous event that defied the natural laws of time and the sun's movement. This backward movement of the shadow served as a divine confirmation of God's promise to Hezekiah. Biblical reference: 2 Kings chapter 20 verse 11. Then the prophet Isaiah called on the Lord, and the Lord made the shadow go back the 10 steps it had gone down on the stairway of Ahaz. The reality of manifestation. Real magic, the ability to manifest anything into reality, is absolutely real. The prophets and miracle workers of the Bible tapped into this fundamental truth, harnessing the power of their pure thought to bring about extraordinary events. When Moses parted the Red Sea, or when Aaron's rod blossomed, they were not merely performing symbolic acts. They were demonstrating the very real capability of consciousness to shape the physical world. This divine power, accessible through deep spiritual practice and alignment with the divine will, shows that the boundaries of what we consider possible are far more flexible than we often believe. Elijah's miraculous mantle, cape. The prophet Elijah's mantle, or cape, is another significant object that symbolizes divine authority and power. Elijah's calling of Elisha. Elijah's mantle first appears when he calls Elisha to be his disciple and successor. Elijah throws his mantle over Elisha, symbolizing the transfer of prophetic authority and calling. Biblical reference: 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 19. So Elijah went from there and found Elisha son of Shaphat. He was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen, and he himself was driving the 12th pair. Elijah went up to him and threw his cloak around him. Parting the Jordan River. One of the most dramatic uses of Elijah's mantle occurs when Elijah and Elisha cross the Jordan River. Elijah rolls up his mantle and strikes the water, causing the river to part so they can cross on dry ground. Biblical reference: 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 8. Elijah took his cloak, rolled it up and struck the water with it. The water divided to the right and to the left, and the two of them crossed over on dry ground, passing the mantle to Elisha. When Elijah is taken up to heaven in a whirlwind, his mantle falls to the ground and Elisha picks it up. This act signifies the transfer of Elijah's prophetic authority to Elisha. Biblical reference: 2 Kings chapter 2 verses 13 to 14. Elisha then picked up Elijah's cloak that had fallen from him and went back and stood on the bank of the Jordan. He took the cloak that had fallen from Elijah and struck the water with it. "Where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah?" he asked. When he struck the water, it divided to the right and to the left, and he crossed over. Embracing our inner potential. In understanding this, we come to realize that each of us holds the potential for true magic within. By cultivating our consciousness and focusing our thoughts with purity and intention, we can begin to influence our reality in profound ways. The legacy of the prophets serves as a reminder that we are co-creators in the tapestry of existence, capable of bringing forth light from darkness and manifesting our highest visions into the world. The divine instruments they use, staffs, mantles, and other sacred objects, demonstrate the timeless principle that our consciousness, when aligned with divine will, can manifest wonders and transform reality itself. The miraculous instruments of the Old Testament, Moses' staff, Aaron's rod, Elisha's staff, Hezekiah's sundial, and Elijah's mantle, demonstrate the profound connection between divine will and the physical world. Each object served as a conduit for God's power, illustrating the principles that govern the universe. Through the infusion of human consciousness, these objects became gateways to pure thought and imagination, the very essence of true magic. Additionally, the hidden lineage of Benjamin as the source of these miracles reveals the secret role of the tribe as the wizards of Israel. These stories not only highlight the miracles themselves, but also point to a deeper understanding of how divine energy can manifest in our reality.